We have new information for you this morning on a breaking news story we've been following about a disturbance in Moorhead involving a gun. The Valley Today's Abby Furchner joins us live with this new information this morning. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Lisa. It all started when someone had made a call saying that a man pointed a gun at them inside one of these homes here on the 1400th block of 16th Street South in Moorhead. When officers had guns drawn and ordered people inside the house to come out. 4 adults did. Then officers went inside and say they found 2 more people hiding. 31-year-old Courtney Smith was arrested for domestic assault. 21-year-old Travis Spears was arrested for assault and possession of stolen property in relation to the threat involving the firearm. One good positive note on during this incident is that no shots were fired and no one was seriously hurt during this time. So a quiet scene here this morning, but I know it was quite an active scene here last night.
Abby Furchner reporting live on this breaking news. Thank you so much for the update. New this morning, emergency crews were called to a rollover accident on the corner of 7th Avenue South and University Drive South in Fargo overnight. The call came in right around 1 a.m. A driver involved in the crash tells us that one of the vehicles flipped after being rear-ended. Take a look. You can see the vehicle still up on its side right there. And amazingly, everyone walked away okay. Fargo police do plan to release a little more information to us later this morning. Also new this morning, a man is hurt after an early morning rollover in Becker County. The Minnesota State Patrol says 20-year-old Kyle Thompson of Glendon was driving on Highway 10 west of Frazee right around 2 a.m. when he ran off the road into the median and rolled. Troopers say Thompson's injuries are not considered serious. 9 minutes now before 7 o'clock. Let's get a check of that First Alert Storm Team forecast, and we check in with meteorologist Lisa Green, who is working from home, and we can see some clouds again there on the Skycam.
That's right. You know, there are some places enjoying that bright sunshine this morning. Fargo's one of those spots, but we have a new Skycam. This is in Devil's Lake, and thankful to have it because it gives us an idea that there are other places in the valley that we are seeing overcast skies and conditions that aren't so nice and sunny and bright. So this is, again, our newest Skycam on our First Alert Skycam network from Home of Economy in Devil's Lake. So gray skies there. Fargo's got the sun. So does Grand Forks. We're into the mid to upper 50s throughout the valley. But Fergus Falls, Bemidji, Devil's Lake reporting those mostly cloudy skies right now. So conditions variable depending on where you are. In fact, in Fargo, we had some overcast skies not too long ago. So we're in a break right now. There are more areas where we're enjoying some sun and then other spots stuck in those clouds. And it may be a situation today where we see the cloud cover increase as that south wind drives in some more moisture today ahead of our next chance for some isolated showers or maybe even a thunder shower heading into the afternoon and evening hours tonight. Our chance is not too impressive looking right now, but still the possibility is there and it marks a change in our pattern. Still stuck with the wind, though. We've got those gusts, especially in eastern North Dakota, above 20 miles per hour, close to 30 in Devil's Lake at 29. And that south wind, again, continues to drive in that milder air. This afternoon, our temperatures, it's going to be a range, and it depends on who has the cloud cover longer and who has the sunshine longer. If you're stuck in the clouds, you can see we may not hit that 60-degree mark in some, or rather 70-degree mark in some spots. Other places, some mid-70s, maybe even some upper 70s. All of us stuck with the wind, and again, that increasing chance for cloud cover and some rain and maybe some rumbles of thunder. That'll be most likely today in eastern North Dakota. As we head into the nighttime hours tonight and tomorrow, that starts to shift more into northwest Minnesota, and it does look a little more impressive. Conditions look better for some rain and some thunderstorms for your Friday. A break on Saturday morning, but then we see another round move in Saturday night, and some of those storms could be strong. That's the next one to watch right now for your Memorial Day. It's looking nice. Time now for traffic. Let's check in with the Valley Today's Devin Fry with the traffic on the move.
Thanks, Lisa. We're finishing up our drive for this hour on I-94. We're heading east, as you can probably tell by the sun, toward Minnesota. Now, overall, the traffic flow this morning, it's been pretty hit or miss no matter where we're going. The northbound lanes of I-29 have been our busiest roadways that we've seen, but now both lanes of I-94 are looking like they're loading up. We expected that to happen as we got closer to the workday, and it's no exception today. Now you can see the westbound lanes of I-94 in particular looking a little bit more busy than what we're experiencing over here in the east. Now, thankfully, on both roadways, it does tend to divert a little bit when we get by the tri-level interstate. So good news there. Once you get past the tri-level, it's going to lessen up a little bit. We can see that happening in the westbound lanes now. We're going to get a look at I-29 and see if that's still our busiest roadway. Now, keep in mind, it's only the northbound lanes where you might be experiencing some delays. The southbound lanes of I-29 were looking wide open. So good news there for those heading south. Those heading north, be prepared to give yourself a few extra minutes. Looking over I-29 right now, it's looking like a very similar situation. So just be prepared as you make your way out the door. We're going to keep checking out the roadways, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
It looks like some churches in Minnesota are done waiting for the go-ahead to reopen. Leaders of the Minnesota Catholic Conference and the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod say they will defy Governor Tim Walz's order and start holding in-person services this coming Tuesday. The faith leaders sent a letter to the governor telling him they'll resume worship services because of the spiritual needs they see in their communities. Testing is far from over at a Mayville assisted living facility that went from 0 to 20 positive COVID-19 cases in less than 24 hours. Luther Memorial Home confirmed yesterday that 20 people tested positive for COVID-19, including 13 staff members and 6 residents. But no one is showing symptoms. All affected staff are quarantining at home. As for those living in the facility, no one is allowed to leave their rooms, and the 6 residents are now isolated in a separate part of the building. The facility will have another round of mass testing next week. North Dakota is reporting 4 more deaths and 102 new cases in the state. All of the latest deaths are in Cass County, and they all had underlying health conditions. This brings the death toll now to 49 in the state. There are 2,095 positive cases. 1,302 people have recovered. Meanwhile, Minnesota is reporting another 29 deaths from the virus in the state. The death toll now stands at 777, with 635 of them living in a nursing home or assisted living facility. 9 deaths are still listed as probable, meaning there's no test result on file. The total case count increased by 645 to a total of 17,670. The Moorhead Fire Department is dealing with a COVID-19 outbreak at its Northside headquarters. Officials couldn't give us an exact number, but several sources tell Valley News Live that about 60% of employees have been infected. Fire Chief Rich Dyson says they'll have limited response out of their North Station, but he's assuring people that they're still in good hands if they need help and that there will be minimal impact to the department's response time. June 1st is the date. Minnesota restaurants and bars can reopen for outdoor dining with social distancing and other safeguards. Under the plan, no more than 50 restaurant patrons can be seated at a time. Governor Tim Walz says he's trying to slowly ramp up social activities and businesses to avoid having the virus boil over. Salons can also resume cutting hair at 25% capacity, and staff must wear personal protective equipment. Restaurants and bars will need to space tables 6 feet apart. Parties will be limited to 4 people or 6 if you're in a family. Reservations will be required. Staff must wear masks, and guests are strongly encouraged to do so, except, of course, while eating and drinking. Yesterday's announcement is drawing sharp criticism from those who had hoped for faster steps to help struggling businesses. Fargo parks are next in line to reopen, and that happens today. The Park District also encourages families to follow all recommendations of physical distancing and to use your own discretion when using the play equipment. You should also use your own antibacterial wipes before touching any equipment. The remaining Fargo Parks facilities, programs, and amenities are set to reopen in phases. City playgrounds in Moorhead reopened yesterday, and there's even some new equipment to use at Bennett Park. Take a look at that. Looks fun. The city says people are still encouraged to practice social distancing and, of course, bring their own hand sanitizer with them. The 107th annual Clay County Fair in Barnesville has been postponed until 2021 because of concerns over COVID-19. The Fair Board says it will be using the extra time to work on projects and complete updates to the buildings and grounds. And although we've heard about a lot of big summer events being canceled because of COVID-19, The Medora musical will go on. It's going to open June 19th. A bit of good news for you this morning. Organizers say the show will follow ND's Smart Restart guidelines, including reduced capacity for each show, every other row seated, and increased spacing. Tickets go on sale this Tuesday. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's today's question. 92% of us have at least one kind of this in our fridge right now. This is true at my house. The answer is cheese. Remember, you can play along every weekday morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. Here on the Valley today, we want to thank you for tuning in to watch our coverage. We want to reassure you that we're working hard to make sure you're staying informed during this COVID-19 pandemic. There are several ways for you to do that, including valleynewslive.com, our VNL News app, and also our Valley News Live Facebook page, all for free with no registration.